Hey there, welcome back to the Life Insurance Life. I'm Brett Bunick, and if you've ever had a prospect say, I need to think about it or I can't afford it, this video is going to be for you. I'm going to teach you exactly how to handle the most common objections in insurance telesales. Little disclaimer, in the handful of videos that I've made for this channel so far, I've realized that I'm not very good at editing these videos. And so we're just going to blow through and do this all in one shot. Why not, right? Okay, so objections. I believe that objections are not rejections. I think that objections are really just unanswered questions that our clients have when we're talking to them on the phone. Now, when we're talking about life insurance and protecting their family, we're talking about some pretty serious things, death and money. And when people's emotions are involved, a lot of times people have a really hard time expressing their emotions or putting their feelings into words so that they can tell you how they're feeling or what their questions are. And when people have this sense of confusion or hesitation, or there's just some kind of feeling in them that they can't put out into words, the first thing they're going to try to do is get off the phone, and they're going to use an objection to do that. And so usually if you can ask some more questions, you can really kind of pull things out. You dig a little bit deeper and you can find out exactly how they're feeling. And usually the questions will come out. And of course, once you answer those questions, it's going to put them at ease and they're going to be able to move right on forward. Okay. So what are kind of the top 5 most common objections that we get? One, I need to think about it. We hear this all the time. What I say, hey, I totally understand. I'd want to think on things as well. But let's talk about what you need to think about. Is it the price? Is it the coverage? Is it something else? Again, what is it they need to think about? Usually this is because they have some kind of emotion in there that they can't put into words, but it's really just unanswered questions. So what is it that you need to think about? And list some things. Is it the price? Is it the coverage? Is there something else? Maybe there's something that we haven't gone over yet. The second one is I can't afford it. And we hear that one a lot too, especially when we're dealing with final expense clients. What I say, for final expense, most of my clients are on a pretty strict fixed income, and that's exactly why they need this kind of coverage. So what is a comfortable budget for you? You can have your questioning be very direct. A lot of people will respect that, believe it or not. And a lot of agents out there that are working on the phone are kind of scared to ask direct questions like that. They want to beat around the bush, and there's no reason to do that. So, what's a comfortable monthly budget for you? A lot of times people will tell you. If they don't know, you can start giving other options. Maybe reduce the death benefit a little bit to, find something that's a little bit more affordable. But you want to be careful. You want to find that sweet spot where things fit into their budget, but then the insurance is also going to perform the way that they need it to. Those two things have to add up for it to be valuable, and that value has to be there for them to want to keep it. Okay. So direct questioning, that gets around that. I need to talk to my kids, or I need to talk to my spouse. This one, we hear all these a lot, actually. So with this one, what I say is, I completely respect that. This is something that they should be aware of. Are they there with you now? Put your phone on speaker so they can hear. Maybe they have some questions that you and I haven't even talked about yet. A lot of times when we're talking on the phone, we can hear the other person in the background. And the person that's on the phone will say, hey, I need to talk with my spouse about this. Well, why do they want to hang up the phone and talk with their spouse when they're right there? Go ahead and put the phone on speaker so that you can talk with both of them at the same time. That's been the easiest way for me to get around that objection for quite a long time. So I'd try it out. Here's another one. I already have insurance. I like hearing this one, actually. And what's neat about this is because if they already have life insurance, you don't have to sell them on the idea of life insurance. They're already a believer. So I'd say, that's awesome. That's great. What is it that you currently have? Hopefully they'll tell you. When was the last time you had it reviewed? Many people think they have one thing and it's actually another. Or a lot of people bought insurance recently or even a little while ago, And there's actually more affordable rates. So figure out what it is they have and then compare it to what their options are going to be. I think you'd be surprised. Usually there are more affordable options and or better coverage out there. Also, if you run into people that have current coverage with companies like AAA, a lot of times that's just travel insurance and they don't even know it. If they have coverage that they got through AARP, those are backed by New York Life. And a lot of times those policies have premium amounts that are set to go up on a schedule as they get older. A lot of people are unaware of that. Salespeople that are just out there trying to sell anything to anybody, or especially if they got something through the mail, that wasn't explained to them. So the people are completely unaware that their premiums are going to go up, and they can get priced right out of the market when that happens. Lastly, this is one that I just heard today. I don't buy anything over the phone. And I hear this a lot. And so what I say, I tell them that. I hear this a lot. I used to have to go see everyone I helped in person. But with everything going on nowadays, most people would rather me just help them over the phone instead of showing up to your house. Now, this is another reason why I sent you my identification and I asked you to look me up. So in my script, in my presentation, which is on another video, there's a link to that script so you can have it. You can implement it into your business if you want. But when I present my identification, I show them an actual photo. I either text it to them or I email it to them. It's a photo of my state licensing that I printed out, and I laid my driver's license right on top of the state licensing, and I took a picture of it with my cell phone. And then when I get that to them, I make sure that they've received it and they can see it. And I tell them, go ahead and look me up. Do a Google search or look me up on the website of the Office of the Insurance Commissioner so they can see exactly who I am. So that's something that's addressed in the script that I use. To be completely honest, how we handle objections can also have a lot to do with our lead flow. Now, if you don't have many leads, if you're just starting out, or if, leads cost money, if you just don't have a whole lot of them, then handling these objections is going to be important because you really want to make sure that you can talk to every single lead that you can. When you have a large volume of leads and they're consistently coming in every day, there's always somebody else to talk to. And so, yes, you want to handle these objections because you want to help the family. Okay. But it gets to the point where if you have 6, 8+ appointments booked that day and someone says, hey, I need to think about it, you can just go, great. You go ahead and think about it. Let's schedule a time for me to give you a call back tomorrow. If I called you the same time tomorrow, would you be available? Is that enough time for you to think about it? Is that enough time for you to talk with your wife about it? Go ahead and schedule an appointment that way. Of course, getting through these objections and getting into the application is the goal. However, you do want your clients to know that you're actually looking out for them. That's a big deal. That relationship building is something that's really important. And a lot of time when you've built that trust, you built that relationship in your phone call, these objections don't even happen. And that script that I use does build that trust. So I don't hear a whole lot of these objections as often as a lot of other people do. But when you're handling those objections, you want to make sure to stay calm. You want to be confident in your answering of their questions. You need to ask more questions. You remember the old saying, whoever asks the most questions is the one that's in control of the conversation, and they're usually the one that wins. Use storytelling and real examples. Storytelling is a great way to get your point across in sales. And especially if you can use like some little personal stories from your own personal life, or maybe even someone that you know. So when you're telling stories like that, one, that really drives your point across so they can understand it. But two, it makes them feel like you're letting them into your life a little bit. You're a real person also. You're not just some sales guy on the other side of the phone. So storytelling is a big deal. And then, of course, throughout this whole process, it's easy to get sidetracked from your script. Okay. and you don't want to go off on some tangent. So once you've addressed the objection or you're done your storytelling, whatever you're going to do, you're going to get right back into your script, which will lead you into the application process. Okay. So this video was shorter than a lot of other objection handling videos. However, that's exactly what I say, and it works. So I hope this was helpful. Drop a comment with any objections that you hear. Maybe we can address those specific ones in another video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.